What's up everyone, welcome to part 4 of Phantasy Star IV. In today's episode we're going to investigate Birth Valley to see where Professor Holt went. He freaking disappeared again. Before I step into Birth Valley, I'm going to buy some new armor. A general rule of thumb for any RPG. Graphite materials will give you a defensive boost, but that's really about it. There's no secondary boost when it comes to graphite materials. The weapon shop in this town, on the other hand, there are a couple of good weapons for Chaz and Grizz, but that's about it. The enemies in Birth Valley are a bit more dangerous than the monsters that came before. For one thing, there is a new enemy type, so you gotta watch out. And this is where everything gets futuristic. Even though this future stuff is from the past. Which still takes place in the future. But the downside is we still have swords and axes and boomerangs. Anyway, I'm dealing with more pesky item management. I got Grizz a broad axe, which is going to be useful for the enemies inside Birth Valley. I want Grizz to become more of a death machine than he already is. We have to go deeper into this cave in order to find Professor Holt. Silly old man had to get himself into trouble again. What a whack job. Flatter plants. They have very low defense, so a simple swipe with Han or Chaz will do the job. Pretty much every monster in this cave portion will go down in one hit. That isn't until the second part of this dungeon where things start to get a little bit more challenging. Ow, that's not nice. Have a critical. I like the difficulty curve in Phantasy Star IV. The monster encounters are not too hard, save for maybe 1 or 2 encounters late in the game. And with the bosses, as long as you know what you're doing, the bosses go down easily, but with a fight. Phantasy Star 1 and 2 are extremely balls hard from the beginning, and there's no leeway. Phantasy Star 3 starts out hard, but it gets way too easy at the end of the game, depending on who you are. Ah, the monsters. Professor Holt has gone into the depths and has not returned. Maybe it's too late. No! Oh, well, thanks for blocking the door, and thanks for spraying acid on Alys. Jerk. Anyway, more flatter plants. Oh god. Good thing it's doing 1 damage. But let's not stall any longer. In the words of Alys, stop wasting time. Welcome to the bioplant. Yikes! What's that? Well, we're going to die. Stop cowering. Men are such cowards. It's nothing. That's true. Alright, so the bioplant, which I think is the same location from Phantasy Star II, or maybe a different location with the same name. But either way, the bioplant. Be careful here. Not only are there glorious secrets here to be discovered, but there are also dangerous secrets too. That are more than willing to kill you, like robots! Sensor bits. They are armed with a Vulcan cannon that will do a decent amount of damage. I believe they also have some sort of railgun too that will do a good amount of damage as well, but I don't give them the opportunity to do the laser railgun because I just killed them. This is the introduction of robot type enemies in this game, and unlike Phantasy Star II where one character specializes in killing robots and the other guys are just there, all the characters here are good for dealing with robots. Grizz may be a good candidate for best robot killer in this game, but all the other characters can do just fine. Like I said before, there's no real dedicated class in this game. All the characters have special quirks about them. Like the character we're about to get at the end of this part. She's going to be really good at combat, but she's also really good at healing. And not only is she very good at those 2 things, she is also cute and adorable. How is she cute and adorable? Well, I blame the art style. It's way too damn good. There's some writing here. Elevator W3 to the west section. This might be a familiar piece of music if you played Phantasy Star 1 for more than 2 seconds without turning the game off. It's the Dungeon 2 theme of that game. Kind of ironic that they're starting with the second dungeon theme of the first game and this game first, and not the other way around, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, these creatures right here, the sycophaugs, I assume that's what they're called. Gigafaugs, okay, whatever. They're just like the standard basement enemies from the first dungeon. They just go down in like 2 hits. They're not really that big a deal. Here's what it's like to be poisoned. Each time you take a step, the screen will flash red and you'll lose a health point. So here's what you want to do. Use an antidote or use the character spell anti to get rid of the poison. Poison is more of a problem early on in the game, but later you don't have to worry about it as much, since the enemies will drop the whole poison gimmick. Or at least some of them will. Gilganova or Gaiganova. Ah, fucking names! These guys are literally just the same as the Iglanovas. These guys will spawn enemies on the sides of them, and whenever there's no room to spawn any more enemies, they'll just attack normally. Oh, come on, Grizz, there's a big ass enemy right in front of you. Why couldn't you have crashed it to death? These sub-boss enemies will have 325 hit points, so it may take a couple of turns to take down these guiles. At this stage of the game, that is. Nice damage for Han, miss on Grizz. Dumbass. And Chaz stunned that creature, and it's moving again. God damn it, Chaz. There's really no telling whether or not the Earth skill is going to work at all for Chaz, so you might want to drop that skill as soon as you hit the stage, honestly. And chances are Chaz will already have the crosscut ability, which is a skill that involves 2 slashes in 1. Enjoy the frostbite, and the 69 hit points of damage. Oh, all that for a stupid graphite crown? I might as well put it on lease. You do have to pay attention to what you give your characters. Some of the equipment can be character specific or gender specific, so for example, say Han, he cannot carry heavy equipment like Chaz, Grizz, or Alys can. There's some writing here. West section unauthorized. Entry prohibited beyond this point. Oh, bullshit. We can find a way to get out. Oh. Oh. We don't have room for this shit. Damn, we're gonna have to find another way around. The real way to the end is the right side, the fork in the road in the first room. Three sensor bits. A tad bit more dangerous than 2 sensor bits. Same basic premise, these guys have really low defense for robot type enemies, so slashing at them will do just fine. Grizz ate that critical, but his high health more than makes up for it. Okay, so let's check everybody out. I'm gonna heal Han right here. You kinda wanna keep Han topped off because, trust me, a breeze from China can knock Han over very quickly, so you gotta watch out for him. He is somewhat magic resistant, but melee attacks, which is what these enemies will most likely do against Han, yeah, not a good time. Not a good time at all, which is why Alys is so damn adamant about keeping Han alive, as well as his paycheck. It's identical to the find in the basement of the Academy. They must have transported those things from here. Interesting. Oh goddammit, 4 sensor bits! Man, they're really sending in the cavalry, eh? But the good news is, the characters on the other side will always cap at 4. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a 5th party member slot, which will get filled in nice and soon. Not the first game in the series to incorporate 5 party members at the same time, but it is definitely the most effective because the party members can actually work together. The downside to this party system though is you have no agency as to who you want in your party at any time. It is strictly story based, characters come and go as they please, and those 4 characters you saw at the title screen, yeah, you're gonna get used to those guys, because they're here for the long haul. I would say that's a nice sense of foreshadowing as well as kind of a spoiler. It's a foreshadowing spoiler. This game is not really subtle on the foreshadowing at all. Now to come to think of it, Rune is basically a walking spoiler. But we'll get more on him later. But right now I kind of want Han to not die, so let me use the wood cane. Ow, don't shoot me, that's not nice. Anyway, Neo Whistles here. They're kind of pathetic. What they do is shoot what I assume are rubber bullets at you, and yeah, that's it. They don't really hurt that much. But then again, Alys does have a little bit higher of a defense than everybody else, so I don't know what would happen if the Neo whistles would shoot at Han or Chaz, God forbid. The healing sound in this game is probably one of the best sound effects ever made for an RPG. Right next to Chrono Trigger's Luminaire. And Final Fantasy VII. Just Final Fantasy VII. I think that game had really good sound design from beginning to end. For the PlayStation, that game was freaking incredible. Even though I like 9 better, and Final Fantasy VIII I don't really care for as much. In fact, I tried to give Final Fantasy VIII a chance like 5 times and I just couldn't do it. I don't like Final Fantasy VIII at all. It wasn't from a lack of trying, it just didn't interest me. But that's besides the point. I just found a ceramic sword. Give me the ceramic sword, the Krimic sword. Krimic sword. God damn, abbreviations suck in this game. That has honestly always been a problem ever since the first Phantasy Star game. Alys's starting weapon, the short sword, is literally translated SHT sword. So it looks like shit sword. And I've always been misreading it as a shit sword. I guess it makes sense because that starting weapon kind of makes a reappearance in this game. And oh, it's definitely a shit sword, alright. Yeah, no, don't get it. Well, actually do get it because it does become an important item later on. But anyway, that is also beside the point. We got Neo Whistle and one remaining sensor bit. Well, the Neo Whistle definitely has some defense on it, more so than the sensor bit, but they all go down just about the same. And Han just learned Zon. Now Alys can mix her fiery spells with Han's wind tunnel. Wait, that sounded oddly dirty. Wait a minute. Moving on. Alys is not interested in bitch boys. Or what she finds as bitch boys. Han is okay in my book, but Alys tends to look down on him. Scholarships? Ha! Ain't nobody got time to be studying. Well, when the world is about to turn into even more of a desert than it already is, you do have a point. Anyway, we're at the end of this dungeon, and oh look! It's Professor Holt. Professor, thank goodness you're safe. I probably should be asking who's the person behind the professor. Oh, it's you, Han. You came to rescue me. Good job. Well, it seems pretty safe here. But how on earth were you able to escape on your own? Well, you see, this person came to my rescue. Who? She's too adorable! Damn it! This girl's name is Rika, and she's really cool. Those ears. What on earth are you? And what is this place? This is the bioplant. It's a research facility for bioengineering created by a 1,000-year-old civilization. This is from an ancient advanced civilization. Is it still operational? Oh yes! What's more, this isn't the only one. There are many such systems that have maintained their functionality. And it is thanks to these systems which control Motavia's climate, soil, and ecology systems that the human race was able to avoid total extinction. God damn. I forgot she was this tech rambly. God damn. Something destruction is taking place. Even though the control system is still functioning, it can barely maintain the minimal conditions for your existence. Even now, this system is starting to run out of control. Chaz, do you understand? What? Well... Then does that mean the recent increase of biomonsters is coming from here? Yes, unfortunately so. If you want to know more, talk to Seed. He's over there. Seed? A lot of plot points are about to be dropped right here and right now. Brace yourselves. This is gonna be fucked. So where's this person called Seed? He's right in front of you. What's going on? I am Seed, the control computer for this bioplant. Wow, an artificial intelligence! I can't believe it. That's right. This is no exception. Check my status here. The system is beyond my control. It is continuously breeding harmful monsters. Just as I thought. If we leave each of these systems running out of control, along with the monster problem, we will have abnormal climate conditions and violent changes to the planet's surface. Motavia will be destroyed. Oh, what shall we do? The only thing we can do is shut down the system. But stopping the system itself will cause problems. We won't be able to maintain the ecosystem. That's better than the system ruining everything. But these systems are spread all over the place. Don't worry, all we have to do is shut down the plant Novice, which supplies the energy to each system. That will shut them all down. First, please rescue the control android Demi. She's the only one who can stop Novice. Rescue? What do you mean rescue? Right now, Demi is being held hostage by a man named Zio. Zio again? Who on earth is this Zio? I myself don't know what Zio is all about. So all we have to do is rescue this Demi, right? Where is she being held hostage? She is with Zio. And the name of that castle is Zio's Fort. Good name there! Is that by any chance beyond the quicksand of Mile? Oh, that sinister looking castle north of Zima. It's a pretty long way to go. But having heard all this, we have no choice. It's been a long time since I felt so excited. And while we're at it, why don't we get rid of that disgusting character Zio? Hey, now that's the spirit. So you will go. Please take Rika with you. Who is this girl anyway? She seems curiously knowledgeable about these matters. She is my child. Are you saying that she is an artificial life form? That's right. She is a product of 1,000 years of improvement on genetic information, from a prototype prior to the Great Collapse. I have also given her a basic education. She will surely be a great help to you. Alright, Seed, we'll take her. Alys knows she's too damn adorable to be left behind. I've always wanted to be able to see the outside world. Rika, take care. Okay, let's get going to Zio's fort. I've been wanting to kick his ass for so long. I must first go back to the academy. We have to spread this information as much as possible. Goodbye, supercomputer that we hardly know. There is only one way for me to stem the outbreak of monsters. Now that I have sent into the world the fruit of 1,000 years worth of research, there are no obstacles to its execution. Guys, you may want to get further away than that. We're outdoors! Wow, I didn't know the sky was so blue. These flowers, they're so beautiful. How lovely! Being cooped up all this time underground. Everything must be so novel. Well, fuck! What was that? An explosion! Oh no. Rika, you must carry on the will of Seed. You can't look back now. I know. Well, rest in peace, Seed.